I believe it's already March.
I know.
It's already been an insane season, and now 68 teams, each with a story to tell, are looking to make it to the national championship game in Phoenix, Arizona on April 5th.
I cannot wait for that weekend. From the family bond, which helped create a superstar's pure jump shot, to the motivation behind one of the most unique and dynamic players in the game, we bring you the best stories in college basketball. This is Game On.
A champion is crowned today.
Latson from Raven.
With me and Raven, playing together, it's double trouble.
Naughty Crooks, 40 points.
Being strong is something that I'm proud of. Being big is something that I'm proud of. The people that criticized me for that certainly couldn't stop me in the paint.
Fournier, the offensive rebound, goes back up and scores.
I started touching the backboard. Since then, I've just been trying out new things.
I know all the sacrifices my family has made. I try to let them know how much it means to me.
Flood knocks it down.
We hit it, get it. We hit it, win it.
For the sixth straight season, Dawn Staley's South Carolina team has earned a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Guard Raven Johnson is in her final year with the Gamecocks, and in the offseason was able to welcome a familiar face to Columbia, Ta'Niya Latson.
It's always great when Bestie joins you
So
doing your favorite thing in your
1000%.
favorite place, right? The sharpshooting guard had taken the country by storm at Florida State, but was looking for something more. The duo now explains the origins of their friendship and what they hope to accomplish at South Carolina.
Ta'Niya and Raven, when you watch them play, it's almost telepathy when it comes to those two.
Ta'Niya Latson, Raven Johnson, big money buckets.
Me and her on the court together. When I'm dribbling the ball, I know where she is. I know where she's going. I know where she likes the ball.
It's double trouble. With me and Raven, playing together, I feel like it's scary to a lot of teams. We read each other's mind.
High school teammates.
All my years, I always think of, what if Ta'Niya was here? I would have never thought she would be here in South Carolina.
Good job, Ta'Niya. That's better, Raven. Here we go, here we go.
For Raven Johnson and Ta'Niya Latson, dominance isn't new. It started at Westlake High School, where from 2019 to 2021, the duo won 3 straight state championships.
Ta'Niya and Raven together brought something extremely special to the table. I noticed it very early in practice. They would do things with the basketball in transition that others could not do. Raven could throw that alley to Ta'Niya in game speed, and they would practice it. A couple of the kids looked at me one day and they said, well, why do you let them do that? I said, because they can. They can finish it.
In 2021, Raven Johnson committed to South Carolina, where she's won 2 national championships. A year later, Ta'Niya Latson took her talents to Florida State. Last season in Tallahassee, Ta'Niya led Division I in scoring. 2 different programs, 2 different paths, but always one connection.
We always kept in touch. I knew deep down I wanted to play with Raven again.
She'd been talking about leaving Florida State because she wanted to win the championship. When she told me that, I was like, this is the right place.
I knew a lot about what she was doing at Florida State. A bucket is what the young people would call it.
Raven's a great recruiter.
You want to win? You better come here. She was just saying like she was going to weigh her options. I was like, weigh your options, girl, just come here.
Let's build that chemistry again, get back. I mean, we won so much together in high school, so why not do it at the next level?
She can read my mind, I can read her mind. Like, I just know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you just know.
I can show you how to do it, twin. Follow me.
She could be across the room, I can be across the room, and we're gonna read each other's energy. It's just natural.
Promise I'm the one. What you mean, probably?
When we just played Tennessee, and we had that backdoor cut.
Backdoor cut, Latson from Raven.
She got it and she reversed it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I did to her in high school. And she just knew like the ball was coming.
Ta'Niya Latson locked in.
That was one of the moments I was like, oh yeah, we were connected. I didn't even have to say anything. She knew we were just on a string.
You want to show them you got vocals?
No.
Remember when they hit the transfer portal?
Yeah.
That's what I was telling them. It was God's plan. But I remember Final Four, I was texting you for a game.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, we finna play a game. That's when the news came out. When you hit the transfer portal, everybody was like, so where's Tania's gonna go? And I'm looking at them like, I don't know, guys. But in my head, I knew you was gonna come here.
Oh, yeah.
I already knew.
Yeah.
I think she brings the best out of me. Like, she makes me play harder. She makes me just have confidence in myself.
The core group of who Raven came in with left. Left for graduation, WNBA, and she really had no one that she was used to playing with. And if you could bring somebody in that you shared the backcourt with in high school, I think it brought a certain level of comfort for Raven.
Seeing her grow into her 5th year and seeing me grow into my senior year on the way to the league is a beautiful story.
A journey that started in Atlanta has led to Columbia. And now, there's only one thing left.
I would hope that we end it in the right way, which is a ring, so she can leave here with a championship ring, and I feel like that would be a wonderful ending.
In college, you don't get to play with your high school teammate. Being able to put that hat on and cut the net, that'll be the perfect cherry on top.
Whether they do or don't, the legacy has been set because their greatness is already known to the world. It would just add to it.
South Carolina had won the last 3 SEC tournament championships until Texas ended that streak. That's becoming quite the rivalry. Raven and Tania are a great duo in the backcourt, but when you look at Dawn Staley's front court, I think one name is at the top of the scout, Miss Joyce Edwards.
You're exactly right on that. Joyce Edwards has been fantastic ever since she stepped foot in Columbia. What makes her special is not just the physicality she brings to the table, her ability to get out and run in transition. At 6'3", she can beat nearly every single other big player down the floor. It allows South Carolina to play with a ton of pace, make it a track meet, and they've been able to bury teams because of how quickly they can play, and Joyce Edwards beating people down the floor.
We were just talking about the new pieces, including Tania Latson for this team. As you've watched South Carolina from start to finish, what else stands out or has your attention coming into this tournament?
The balance offensively has been really impressive for South Carolina. 5 different players are averaging double figures. Every single night, everybody on the floor is a threat to score, and the defense has to pick its poison. The unselfish play is really special. Tania Latson led the nation in scoring a year ago at Florida State, has come into South Carolina in a new role. She's not necessarily looking for her shot as much, but she's become such a better playmaker. And when you have as much talent on the floor as you do with South Carolina, it's easy to make the right play and pass to an open teammate.
Yeah, especially when the open teammate is Medina Okot at the top of the key for Dawn Staley.
That?
We need a whole show on that.
She looks like Steph Curry out there.
Exactly. Dawn Staley and South Carolina, one of those top seeds. Here's a look at the top 4 seeds in the 4 regionals, with the top 16 hosting the first 2 rounds. UConn, defending champs, are the #1 overall seed. The Huskies, joined by UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina as #1 seeds. The Big Ten has 5 teams in the top 16 and a total of 12 in the field. The SEC also has 5 in the top 16 and a total of 10 in the field. So plenty of talent in the top 16, but we're going to put you to it. Who stands out to you?
Texas, first and foremost, stands out to me. You want to be playing your best basketball heading into March. That's exactly what the Longhorns are doing. Beating South Carolina in the SEC championship game was huge for momentum. But the defensive aspect makes them special. They're holding teams to under 60 points per game. They have length and they play with a ton of physicality. That's going to allow them to make a deep run in March. We're going to keep talking about defense because West Virginia is where it begins and ends. They do a full court press that is so flustering, it's difficult to get into any sort of offensive rhythm. Then they're able to score at the rim. That defense is going to be a key piece for them as they try to make a run in this NCAA tournament. When it comes to Michigan, they're really special because their ball screen defense is elite. The way they communicate, they can high hedge and keep people on one side of the floor. Then offensively, 3 sophomores that have been unreal this year. Mila Holloway, Olivia Olson, Silas Swords, they can all 3 score at the rim and they can create their own shot. It's a defensive nightmare whenever you go in to play Michigan because they have so many factors on the perimeter.
Picking up a pattern, defense is important in the postseason to win championships.
It's
fair to say.
It's one of the most, bogus cliches, but it's true. Defense wins championships. We'll see what happens in the Final Four.
Now, we can learn a lot from a team from start to finish of the regular season. And following a challenging non-conference schedule, the Duke Blue Devils stood at 3-6 in early December. Kara Lawson's team then reeled off 17 wins in a row and won both the ACC regular season and conference tournament titles.
It was unreal. An absolutely unreal run for Duke. Sophomore Toby Fournier led the team in points, rebounds, and blocks, exhibiting a dynamic all-around game. But once upon a time, she was known for something else. Andrea Adelson has more.
Toby Fournier has been a force. There is no doubt about it. Everything runs through her.
I started playing basketball when I was 11 or 12.
6'2" sophomore out of Toronto.
My siblings were doing it, and I just kind of went to the building that they were training at, and they were like, who is that?
This is a young woman that can dunk the basketball.
I started touching the backboard. That's not really something you do when you're 12 years old, especially as a female. I started dunking like tennis balls, and I kind of just did it for fun. And then when I was 14, I really dunked it. Since then, I've just been trying out new things. I did a reverse dunk. I don't know what I ate that day.
Before she even got to college, everyone knew her as the Canadian that can dunk.
I was at Nike Hoop Summit. LeBron James was there as well. The coaches were kind of just like, she's the girl, she can dunk. And he was like, yeah, like I saw that. And I was like, oh, okay, you said that so casual. Like, it was just kind of crazy knowing that LeBron James had seen that before.
Toby Fournier was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. By the time she was in high school, she had the attention of college basketball coaches all over North America, including Kara Lawson at Duke.
The thing that stood out about Toby during the recruiting process was her production, whether it was for her high school, whether it was for her club team, whether it was for her national team, Team Canada. She would find a way to score, she would find a way to rebound, she would find a way to block shots. And I think she's been able to carry that over into the collegiate space as well.
After signing with Duke, Fournier arrived in Durham in the summer of 2024, looking to prove that she was more than a social media sensation.
Going to university in general, not even playing Division I basketball is really hard, especially in another country.
Her freshman year, every single day, she competed and let us know that, all right, like I may be a baby, but I'm here.
It was definitely difficult because there was so much coming at me. Against the harder competition, it was just a lot of physicality. They would take away my strengths, and I didn't really know how to deal with it.
Despite some early growing pains as a freshman, Fournier averaged 13 points per game and was named first team All-ACC and helped guide the Blue Devils to an Elite Eight appearance.
I think that my game is it's evolving and changing.
There's a lot that she's growing into as a player. If she's hitting more three-point shots, she's playing a little bit more out on the perimeter to attack.
How about a little left to right crossover dribble? She's got that too.
Last year I was like, I was a little bit scared to shoot. There was a lot of fans, a lot of attention, and I didn't want to mess up a shot, but now I shoot threes whenever I'm open.
Fournier at three. Toby Fournier holding the follow-through. I love the development of Toby Fournier's game.
The details and her fundamentals are a lot better from a year ago.
This season, as a sophomore, Fournier's numbers are up in almost every category, and she has become one of the best players in the country by doing everything except dunking.
Toby's a complete two-way player. She's elite on offense and she's elite on defense. So there's a lot about her athleticism that's great. The most famous part of it is obviously the leaping ability.
This is a team that is primed for a run at the Final Four.
We have a lot of potential to make a deep run. If we stick to our core values and what we've been doing throughout our conference play, I think that we can be in the run for a championship. I just love to play basketball. When I'm out there, you can see that.
Although Fournier has dunked in practice and in pregame warm-ups, she has not yet dunked in game action, maybe this tournament. She's among one of the most versatile players in the game this season, but she's not the only one. When you think of other versatile superstars, who comes to mind?
Hannah Hidalgo is at the top of the list in terms of versatility. Her defense makes her so special because she can get underneath people and steal the ball. She's led the nation in steals per game multiple times throughout the course of her career, but her offense also makes her special. Even though she's only 5'6", she's so quick. She can beat anybody off the dribble. Then you have to give her a step, and she can knock down the three. She makes the most insane shots look easy.
So much fun.
Cody McMahon has been such a great get for Ole Miss. She came from Ohio State in the transfer portal, and the level of physicality she plays with perfectly suits the SEC. She can get into the paint, finish through multiple levels of contact, and then if you give her a step, she can knock down a three. Oh, and by the way, she's playing a little point guard this year. It's versatility with a capital V. Flau'jae Johnson has been versatile ever since she stepped on campus in Baton Rouge back when she was a freshman. She reads multiple levels of the defense, gets everybody out of a stance, then she's able to attack, or if you give her too much of a step, she'll knock it down right in your face. Flau'jae Johnson is the straw that stirs the drink for the Tigers. They're going to need her to have a massive tournament for them to make a run.
From a leadership standpoint as well, all those things off the floor, so much of it revolves around a player like Flau'jae Johnson. So much versatility, so many superstars. Can't wait.
The Texas Longhorns are champions of the SEC.
With that victory, last season's SEC Coach of the Year, Vic Schaefer, is the first coach to win a women's SEC tournament crown at multiple schools, having guided Mississippi State to a title in 2019. This year's SEC Coach of the Year, Shea Ralph, knows how to win. Part of 7 national championships as a player and assistant coach for the UConn Dynasty. She is one of the most ferocious competitors this game has ever seen.
She is so fun to watch coach on the sidelines, and now she's leading her own team, the Vanderbilt Commodores, and she's found a player similarly driven in SEC Player of the Year, Michaela Blakes. As Holly Rowe reports, these two women continue to push Vanderbilt back to national prominence by embracing their competitive fire.
I just don't like the word nice. I think you can be kind. But we should teach our young women to be ready for battle. You're gonna have to show up, you're gonna have to fight for it. We can be kind, but we can still go whoop people's ass.
To fully understand Vanderbilt head coach Shea Ralph, I need to take you back to her playing days at UConn.
Well, you know, she's one of the gutsiest, most determined kids I've ever been around in my life.
Shea Ralph!
It was tough, and I hated to lose.
Shea Ralph always seemed to show up for the big games.
Shea was driven beyond driven.
The steal by Ralph.
There was an intensity level that Shea brought that was so palpable. When she shook hands with you, you were intimidated.
At UConn, she shared the floor with future Hall of Famers Swin Cash and Sue Bird. In 2000, when they won it all, it was Ralph who won the tournament's Most Outstanding Player award. Then came the heartbreak. A 5th ACL tear would cut her career short, but she didn't leave the game entirely.
I learned so much as a player that my experience at UConn made me want to be a coach. It made me want to come back into whatever role I could, wherever I could, to impact young women's lives like mine had been impacted.
And she did. First at Pitt, but returning to Storrs in 2008 and coaching alongside Gino for 13 seasons at UConn. Following the 2021 season, it was time for her to lead and build her own program, finding a fit at Vandy.
You guys are going to blink and your first game is going to be here. I want us to feel ready. I want us to know what everyone's going to bring.
Lots of people are like, why would you do that? Why would you leave UConn and go there in the SEC? And like, you're not going to win there. And I knew that we were going to win, but I need players. Great players make great coaches.
And she found one. 2 years ago, Ralph signed her signature recruit, guard Michaela Blakes.
Because a lot of people were like, really, this is where you want to go? As soon as I stepped foot on campus, I knew this is where I wanted to be at and I would thrive.
Blakes for 3 is good!
Coach Ralph, she's done everything I wanted to do as a player. She took the chance on this program and I did the same thing.
Behind the back, shakes loose, scoops it up and in.
Michaela Blakes is a competitor. She's built different, and she's absolutely fearless. The biggest moments are her favorite.
Pierre's got it, going quickly, blow by, lay in, no good, rebound, Blake's got it at the horn! The Commodores have upset the Lady Vols.
She will rip your heart out of your chest and squeeze all the blood out of it, and then pat you on the back, you know, and walk off.
Blakes won the SEC Freshman of the Year award in 2025.
And she sets the SEC scoring record once again, 54 points now.
This season, she led Division I in scoring and earned SEC Player of the Year honors.
The #1 player in the country, dropping 30.
In 5 seasons, Ralph has restored the Commodores to prominence, ending a decade-long NCAA tournament drought, and now looking to establish her program among the nation's elite.
I mean, what Shea Ralph has done with this team has just been outstanding.
I'm having the time of my life coaching this team. Since the day that I got here, my players have made me better and are the absolute reason that Vanderbilt basketball is where it is.
She comes in here every day and says, hey guys, I'm really proud of you, but let's get better.
What I really like about Coach Ralph is her unwavering belief. She always reminded us that it's not about the scoreboard, it's about the habits that we're developing.
We're gonna be hardworking and tough, and we're gonna win a lot, but we're also gonna enjoy the journey. I think you can do that, and I wanna be able to prove it here at Vanderbilt.
So heading into the tournament, Michaela Blakes leads the nation with an average of 27 points per game, and Vanderbilt made program history this season with a historic 20-game win streak. The Commodores are a 2 seed in the Fort Worth Regional, where they could face UConn in the Elite 8. But who are some of the other top 16 seeds that you think, Megan, could be a contender?
Going to the Big Ten, Iowa has been so good throughout the course of the season consistently. It started with their defense, and offensively, they are so balanced and share the ball. When you have good spacing, you force the defense to spread out, and when you move it with pace, you force them to get into rotation. And Iowa makes everybody pay if you make the wrong defensive decision. They're scoring from the outside, or they're throwing it inside to Stolke or Hayden. Louisville has been so good this season with their consistency. All 5 players on the floor are a threat to score all the time. They have a great inside-outside balance, and Bo Siegler and Istanbulolu can shoot the 3 and also post up down low. That is so difficult to guard when you have players that can do both. LSU continues to push pace. They play so fast. They can score a ton in transition, and that allows them to create so much momentum throughout the course of a game. It doesn't allow their opponent to get into any sort of offensive rhythm, and as a result of the unselfish play and the pace, they put a lot of teams away early.
And how about the transfer that you saw there, Mylasia Fulwiley from South Carolina, just getting more and more comfortable as the season progressed, really kind of coming into her own under Kim Mulkey by the back half of the season.
She is so dangerous to go against. I've loved watching her blossom at LSU. When she gets going in transition, it's like a poster every single time. You never know how fancy she's going to make the finish.
So much star power coming out of Baton Rouge.
When you're really, really good at something, just shut up. Other people say it for you.
Discipline, heart, hustle. No program embodies that more than UConn.
We really play team basketball. I mean, it makes it easy.
The double. Best program in the history of the game.
No answer for Easy's ball.
Not a box they do not check. Well, let's pick your poison with the Huskies.
Our depth is super powerful. Can do whatever you need at any moment.
Being undefeated and winning the national championship, that's kind of what the expectation is.
I thought I was going to lose Megan for a second. I thought she was going to run through a brick wall back there.
Pumped up, let's go. Come on, baby.
Absolutely fired up. And how about watching AZ Fudd? She may be one of the most recognizable stars in all of college athletics, whether she's pouring in 25 points on any given night for UConn, setting social media on fire with a new outfit, or fronting a major ad campaign. AZ is almost always in the spotlight.
In the spotlight, her style is absolutely insane.
Impeccable.
Off the charts. But beyond the fans and the fame is a story most people don't know about the family that helps carry her to success. A family brought together not by blood, but by choice. Sam Borden has more.
I think my family's perfect. I mean, all of us could look like we come from a different family. All right, who opens first?
I'll go first.
I wouldn't look at us and say we don't belong. Who picked this one out? We've never really cared about what anybody else thinks about it. He's such a dork. Look at me and smile.
Family are the people who love you, care for you, and push you forward in a positive direction in life. That's family.
That's something that I love about the way we look. Imperfectly perfect.
Fought another three.
Azzi Fudd hasn't been as good as she was last season, when she was the NCAA tournament's most outstanding player. Somehow, she's been better.
My goodness, she gets rid of that ball quickly.
But behind the UConn seniors' picture-perfect jump shot and fiery defense is a family bound not by blood, but by choice. The idea of a blended family was familiar to Tim. His mother, Georgia Hecker, had spent years raising multiple foster children.
My grandma, Georgia, I called her Nanny. She spoiled me. I always loved being at her house, and I always loved that she was a foster parent. I guess I was the only child in me, so I loved being around all the kids.
In 2011, Georgia was fostering two young brothers, Jose and John. They were special to her, and she made plans to adopt them herself.
I remember getting a phone call from my sister saying that Mom is not doing great. She had gone to the doctor to check on this pulled muscle and found out it was a stage 4 lung cancer.
They said it could be anywhere from, I don't know, 6 months to 2 years, and it actually progressed way faster than they thought.
After a short battle with lung cancer, Georgia Hecker died on October 7th, 2011. She was 63.
I had to go get the boys out of school, and then I had to tell them that Nanny was not here anymore. And that hurt me more for them. I was older, and I had my mom for a long time, and I knew that they needed her.
Moving through foster homes, it's always, when is the next house gonna be our forever home?
We've been through a lot in our early childhood before when we went to foster care with her, so we were a little bit nervous of what was gonna happen.
And they just told me, hey, you're moving in with Georgia's son. I thought we had found our forever home.
406. I went from being the little kid who wanted a sibling so badly to then sharing a bunk bed with these two little boys. At first it was like fun, and then after a little bit I was like, okay, like these boys are in my space. But people were gonna have to make some sacrifices, share our space, share our toys, and now share our life with them.
They just fell right in line and did whatever Azzi did. And she kind of was the leader.
I would be so different if they never came into my life. I don't know if I'd be as good of a shooter because I wouldn't have had my personal passer and rebounders every day.
Me and John used to fight all the time when we rebound and pass, so there would be some days where John would be the passer and I'd be the rebounder because I'd be throwing bad passes. And then if John started throwing bad passes, it'd be like, all right, you guys need to switch.
We had good days at the gym, bad days at the gym. I don't know if they told you, there were some balls thrown at people at times. It's my job as the older sister to toughen them up. Someone's got to do it.
AZ suffered a torn ACL in high school before enrolling at UConn in 2021. She was hampered by injuries her first 2 seasons. Then, in November 2023,
AZ Fudd ruled out for the season with a torn ACL and meniscus.
She was like, I tore my ACL. And right there, I literally was like, all right, I'm done. I put my phone down for, I think, like 5 minutes, and I didn't know how to respond. It was the hardest text I think I've ever had to read.
They helped me so much through, I mean, everything, but especially during injuries. Jose was like, what can I help you with? Can I do this? Like, he would come in and watch a movie with me. John would, like, if I needed a snack, if I wanted, like, ice cream, he'd make my ice cream bowl. I'm not gonna say I cried, like, because I know they're gonna watch this, and I can't let them know that, but I definitely, like, I really felt loved.
It took 15 brutal months before AZ was back, finally able to show off her true potential.
Fudd at 3 is good. AZ Fudd having a big third quarter.
To be on that court and, like, feeling free, playing free, it was so much fun.
You bet! AZ Fudd is on a Tampa burner.
You overcome challenges to get back to where you are, and you're better before pre-injuries.
She just wanted to prove herself that she could do it, and she did it.
The most outstanding player of the 2025 Women's National Championship game, AZ Fudd.
I know all the sacrifices that every single person in my family has made since the day I started playing basketball. I try to let them know how much it means to me.
Bro, are you serious? Yes, I got a blue 0. Okay, I'm good.
I think my family's perfect. I think we're a perfect mix of chaos and unfilteredness and like just realness. That is the Fudd family, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
The Fudd family built the foundation that helped shape AZ into the player and person she is today. And as UConn chases another March run, the Huskies hope that same foundation can help carry them once again. Now, we know about AZ Fudd and Player of the Year candidate Sarah Strong, but who's that third player that Coach Gino Auriemma needs to make an impact in this tournament?
Blanca Quinones is going to be the X factor for the Huskies. She does so many different things for them, but at 6'2", she is coming as a freshman, somewhat pro-ready, if you will. She's strong and balanced on the way to the basket. Even if she gets hit, she keeps her shoulders squared, and she can finish through the contact. She can also knock down threes. Her decision-making and ball screen action makes her really special. Only a first year, but her IQ is off the charts, and she's had an immediate impact in the Big East because she knows how to read the defense and how to dish to her teammates or when to keep it for herself.
Will certainly be an important part if they want to go back-to-back with those championships. Now, UConn could be on a collision course for a rematch in the Final Four with Big Ten champion UCLA. In last year's semifinal game, the Bruins, in their first ever Final Four, lost to the Huskies by 34 points. But the women of Westwood learned a lot in that loss.
And while senior center Lauren Betts understandably gets most of the headlines, her talented and experienced teammates have played a major role in propelling the team to dominate this season. Here's Charlotte Gibson.
All eyes on the All-American Lauren Betts.
Lauren Betts making her presence felt.
Betts running the floor, gets the handle and the finish. No days off for Lauren Betts.
This season, UCLA senior center Lauren Betts dominated the Big Ten, bringing home the conference's Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year awards. The 6'7" Bruins saw her points and rebounds per game decrease from last year, but her assists went up, and that was part of the Bruins' master plan.
We felt like in order to get to the national championship and win that, we had to be a more balanced team as a whole. And I think Lauren's been really great in recognizing that that's something that we all wanted to accomplish, and she was willing to maybe sacrifice a few points individually for the benefit of the team.
The amount of skilled players we have on this team is just incredible. I'm in a situation where I don't need to average 20-something points a game. Like, we have so many elite players who can create for themselves and who can get it done on both ends of the floor.
Neatkins with the three-pointer. Kiki Rice knows how to finish when she gets into the paint. Jaquez rattles in a three.
In addition to Betts, seniors Kiki Rice and Gabriela Jaquez, along with Utah transfer Gianna Neatkins, averaged double figures in scoring this season.
I think one of our superpowers is that we play really well as a team, and it's not just on one person. We don't really care who's scoring, the 20, or because we know we're winning at the end of the day, and that's all that matters.
If you want to overlook Gianna Neatkins and Gabs and Kiki, go ahead, be my guest, because it's really difficult to beat us that way.
I think if you're really paying attention to the caliber of basketball that we're playing, that you recognize that she's better this year, a lot better this year than she was last year.
Lauren Betts knows how to fight through the fatigue.
And that's the Betts effect.
This is probably the most talented team I've ever played on. I'm definitely not taking it for granted. I'm gonna soak up, every day that I have left of the season because, this team means so much to me, and I know we're gonna do amazing things.
So if UConn and UCLA meet in the championship game, what will it take for the Bruins, who are on a 25-game win streak, to get past the Huskies?
Their guards are going to have to step up and score. UCLA has so much depth when it comes to their perimeter. The guards shoot a combined 40% from three as a whole, which is absolutely insane when you take into consideration Lauren Betts is 6'7", so she draws so much attention in the paint. The defense has to collapse, and then she's able to hit shooters on the outside. That perimeter shooting is going to have to be on full display, and the defense for the Bruins is going to have to be there. They're holding teams to under 60 points a game. That's after a tough Big Ten schedule. Defense is key when it comes to playing in UConn because the Huskies are so good at scoring within the half court. They're patient, they spread the floor, and they move the ball with so much pace. If the defense has any sort of miscommunication or breakdown, UConn is making you pay for it.
So you're telling me that if we do get this collision course game, it is going to be must circle on your bracket, must see TV.
I got to tell you right now, in my bracket that I do have UConn, UCLA in the title game. I have the Bruins beating them because UCLA is feeling a little bit of revenge after last season, that huge loss in the Final Four. This whole entire team pretty much came back with the purpose of trying to win a national title. So we'll see what happens.
You heard it here first. Yeah, we do love drama.
Yeah, totally.
Once again, ESPN is the exclusive home of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Tournament. The games will be available on ABC and the ESPN family of networks. Full coverage of the round of 64 gets underway Friday, starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Cannot wait for it all to kick off. Iowa State's Audie Crooks had a record-setting season in the Big 12. The Cyclone Center is a dominant force in the paint, but the same physique that makes Crooks such an effective player has also been a source of intense scrutiny for the junior, with some questioning her weight and conditioning.
I can't wait for this story. Crooks doesn't let the outside noise distract her. Every time she puts on her number 55 jersey, she's reminded of the people and the purpose behind her basketball journey. ESPN reporter Katie Barnes shares Crooks' story.
Number 55, Audie Crooks.
Iowa State's Audie Crooks is one of the most dominant players in women's college basketball.
Come on, Audie.
She has been an unstoppable force.
She is your prototypical center. She's Shaquille O'Neal. We've never had a player like her.
One of the nation's top scorers, Crooks draws strength from her family's basketball legacy, even as she endures scrutiny centered more on her body than on her talent.
Being strong is something that I'm proud of. Being big is something that I'm proud of.
How do you stop that? You can't.
I wanted to keep going and finish the fight that we started together.
Algona, Iowa. Population 5,500. This is where Audie Crooks' basketball journey began. Her parents, Michelle Cook and Jimmy Crooks were both standout high school basketball players.
I remember Audie's freshman year, she said, Mom, I made varsity. I said, oh, what number did you get? And she said, well, duh, I asked for a 55. And I said, oh, what made you want that? And she said, well, duh, Ma, you were 55 and Dad was 55. She's kind of the one that created that special bond between her dad and I and herself.
My dad was my best friend. Whenever he was at any of my sporting events, I would know he was there because I could hear him. He always had the deepest and the loudest voice in the room. He was probably the biggest influence in my life as far as basketball. My dad's health struggles were kind of lifelong. I think I was maybe 8 or 9 and he had a heart attack. A few years later, he was hospitalized and had to have his leg amputated.
Then, on August 14th, 2021, Jimmy Crooks died. He was 55 years old.
I was 16, so just when kind of all the other pieces of my life started coming together with basketball, with school, he passed, and yeah, changed my entire life, changed my world. I didn't know if I was going to play basketball again because it was so deeply rooted in him, but I kind of dedicated myself to the game for him because those were dreams that we had built together.
In what ways do you honor your dad and carry him with you?
It's his Pops. I call him Pops. It was intentionally placed on this hand because I'm right-handed. So every basket that I shoot, he's with me.
That right hand would lead Bishop Garrigan High School to back-to-back state titles, with Crooks setting the state's single-season scoring record as a senior.
I think the issue, obviously, that everyone initially thought was, she didn't really play against much competition. You come from a small Iowa high school, so you're like, okay, does it really transfer to college? And I think a lot of it for Audie is there's a part of her that wants to prove people that I can do this when you didn't think I could.
It took just 5 games for Crooks to become a starter her freshman year at Iowa State. From there, she would dominate.
Crooks, basket and the foul.
Audie Crooks has just been unstoppable.
But the defining moment of her first season came during the 2024 NCAA tournament.
Maryland, 20 minutes in, has been sensational. That deficit for Iowa State currently at 16.
Coach Finn said, it's your choice. We can be done today. What you do is your choice.
Crooks wide open and a chance for 3. Crooks with position in the middle, a double team. Maryland starting to feel the pressure.
She just kept scoring and scoring.
Crooks again, 35. Crooks, number 55 with 39 tonight. Iowa State finds a way and advances to the second round. Audie Crooks here, 40 points.
It was a crazy game, a crazy comeback, and that's a game I'll never forget.
Crooks had arrived, but with the new attention came greater scrutiny, mainly focusing on her body.
Nobody can depreciate my play, so then they come after me personally, and it's like, that's not what I'm here for.
It's Audie, it's... The Lord made her that way. Just tell her to focus on her gifts and what God gave her. It's not easy, and it hurts as a mom.
This body has gotten me so far. So far in life, and it enables me to do what I do on the court. The people that criticize me for that certainly couldn't stop me in the paint.
Audie Crooks, her 2,000th point.
This season, Crooks became the fastest women's basketball player to 2,000 points in Big 12 history. She also accomplished a more personal milestone versus in-state rival Iowa. Why was your dad on your mind during that game?
We always watched the Cyhawk games together. I actually got emotional during the game, just thinking about him and, that We won't be watching this one together.
We hadn't beaten him in a while, and I know when she committed to Iowa State, her dad was big on, you better beat Iowa.
Coach Fenn lost his dad, so that's kind of something that we share, and we understand each other.
Fades away and hits. Big bucket for Iowa State.
With 15 seconds left in the game, Iowa State was up by 3. And Crooks headed to the free throw line.
She looked at me and I looked at her and I just went like this. And I said, hey, both our dads are watching.
That one is good. It's a 30-point night for Audie Crooks. Iowa State will start to celebrate.
Just felt like it was written. It was already written.
They always say leave your jersey in a better place than when you got it. Well, 55 is going to be in a great place.
In basketball and in life, the deck of cards that I was dealt is a hard one to handle. But ultimately, the things that I've learned and the things that I've been able to do, I would say it's pretty successful.
This season, Audie set the single game scoring record for Iowa State, dropping 47 points against Indiana. For more on Audie Crooks' story, read Katie Barnes' companion piece about the Iowa State Center on ESPN.com. Plus, check out our extensive tournament coverage. Audie was a breakout star in the tournament during her freshman season. Who do you think could be the breakout star this year?
You have to know the name Jelani Cambridge from Ohio State. She's done unbelievable things in the Big Ten. Was actually a candidate for Big Ten Player of the Year as a sophomore. Her ability to defend, steal, and push pace scoring on the other end is huge. But in the half court, she is excellent at breaking down opponents one-on-one. She can manipulate space with pace, get in, and makes great decisions shooting the ball or being a playmaker for her teammates. For Michigan, a little bit of a rivalry there, by the way, Olivia Olson has been the bread and butter for the Wolverines offense. She has a really high release point, which is difficult to contest in the mid-range, so she can elevate above so many different players and score at will. She can also get all the way to the rim, can finish with physicality. It has been huge to watch Olivia Olson play inside and out. Aaliyah Chavez for Oklahoma is a freshman, and she's a microwave scorer, meaning that she can heat up in a hurry. Her ability to knock down the three stretches the defense, forces people to come out on her, and then if you give her too much of a step, she's going to blow by you, get all the way to the rim, and it also allows her to create so much for her team.
She really heated up in that upset overtime win over South Carolina back during the regular season.
Game-winning shot.
She's been great since then. But hey, that's going to do it for us. I'm Alyssa Lang.
I'm Megan McEwen. Thanks for watching Game On, Journey to the NCAA Championship.
We will see you in Phoenix, Arizona.
To step out on the court and going through the starting lineup to hear how loud our crowd was.
You could not have scripted a better ending to this magical season.
Just felt like it was a dream.
Welcome to Game On, Journey to the NCAA Championship. I'm John Butchergross, he's Jeremy Schaap, and we are looking ahead to what surely will be another scintillating men's hockey tournament.
And John, the last 10 NCAA titles in men's hockey, they have been won by 7 different programs. And among those 7, only one of those teams isn't in this tournament. That's UMass. There are 6 teams in this bracket that have never won it all.
And as we preview the tournament, we're sharing the best stories in the sport. From a coach who transformed a tiny D3 program into a D1 powerhouse.
To the son who plays to honor the father who introduced him to the game. And many more great stories. This is Game On.
Where's for the shot, he scores!
I saw hockey as a way out.
Every single thing in my life revolves around hockey.
Oh, that's filthy.
I'm under such a big spotlight that I've almost got to be perfect at all times.
Gavin McKenna goal!
however long it was going to be, I was going to step in and play as hard as I could to give us a chance to win on every night.
When the Western Michigan Broncos, the defending national champions, took the ice this season, they